and he's going to be out.
Wow.
So the Wolves, they're not just an Anthony Edwards team. They have great talent around them. You got guys like McDaniels, Naz Reid is really reliable. Gobert has actually been playing really well against Jokic. He's been giving him some fits. But the Wolves, after game one, have won 3 straight. So their defense has been very elite. They're keeping Jokic and Murray from taking over these games. Now, Jokic is always going to get his, Murray can always get his, but it's not putting them in a position where they're losing the series, and especially without their star player. I think that's really impressive, especially for the Nuggets, who have had so much playoff experience. They are relatively more healthy than the Timberwolves right now. So yeah, they're definitely falling short right here. So we're going to see how that series shakes out. That covers the West. Now, Jared, the East is not as cut and dry as the West is right now in terms of 2 series being, finished already. You already got 2 teams ready to play in the semis, waiting for the other series to finish up, depending on how long those go. Teams like the Spurs and the Thunder could get a lot of rest if those go 7 games, which I know that they are rooting for. So the East is actually very interesting as of right now. Very competitive. We've seen some, teams like the Magic pulling off wins. Detroit's not looking that well. The Hawks were having somewhat of control before we talked about that horrific score that's going on right now, where they're down like plus 45 points. But it's been far more competitive as of right now. So it's shaken out to be very interesting.
Right. Yeah. And so I'll get into the East here, Miles. Thank you for stalling there for me for a moment. I'm trying to get the new Twitch stream up here so that we can share it on our story. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. All right. But in the East, the Magic, as of last night, were up 3-2. They lost to the Pistons last night, though. The Pistons won yesterday, 116-109. And the last time the Magic, so going back to last night, the last time the Magic were up 3-1 was in 2003. Can you guess the team that they were playing in 2003, Miles?
I'm going to guess the Pistons.
It was the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah.
And they ended up losing that series 4-3, which is pretty incredible, all things considered right now.
Wow.
Additionally, Paolo Boncherry? Boncherry? All right. Is averaging 21 points per game right now for the Magic, while Desmond Bane is averaging 22 points or had 22 points in game 4. For the Pistons, it's going to be Cade Cunningham averaging 23.9 at the moment. This is a really interesting series. We were surprised that the Magic took it this far. I think that we expected a little bit more out of the number 1 seed Detroit, but we've also seen them fall off a little bit as we have kind of progressed towards the end of the season. Those last 15 games are really tough for the Pistons.
Yes.
Now, moving on from the Pistons and the Magic, we have the Raptors and the Cavs. So the Cavs won last night. That's a big deal. 125-120, taking a 3-2 lead in this series. The next game is going to be at the Raptors.
Correct.
And that's on Saturday, right? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Or no, is that tomorrow? That's tomorrow.
It could be tomorrow. It could be if they're going back to Toronto.
I don't know if they're giving them 1 or 2 days. Yeah, you guys will have to fact check me on that. But Scotty Barnes is averaging 25.8 points per game, 7.3 assists per game, and 1.3 blocks per game for the Raptors. He's leading in all 3 of those statistical categories. For the Cavs, it's Donovan Mitchell averaging 24.3 points per game, and James Harden who is not leading in points per game, but he is in assists per game at 6.5. So I think the Cavs, honestly, have this one under control. I I'm going to project that they're going to win this series. I think they're going to come out of it. I don't think it's going to go 7 games. I think they're going to take it to Toronto and take the dub.
And if it does go to 7, I think they're going to win anyway.
Right. I think they'll win at home. Moving on from that, we're going to talk about my hometown boys, the Boston Celtics. I'm not hometown
Boston's
Boston.
a little far away from here.
Yeah, I wish I was a hometown Boston boy, but they are my favorite team, and they lost in Game 5, which just blew my mind. I talked about this at the beginning of the show. They were winning the entire game in Game 5, and then all of a sudden, fourth quarter comes around, and the Sixers take off, and I did not see them miss a shot. Tyrese Maxey was on fire. They had a lot of help from Embiid. Now, Jason Tatum currently leads the Celtics in points per game with 26.8, 8.7 rebounds per game, 6.0 assists per game, and 3 sorry, my mind blanked out there. I don't
Say your sentence again, and I might be able to help you out.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna let it go. I apologize.
There it goes in the win.
But JT's leading in 5 of 6 major categories right now, and which is a big deal, right? Where we've talked about this a lot, endlessly, pretty much, about him coming back from injury.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty impressive to see. Jaylen Brown is right behind him though, with 25.8 points per game in this series. And he's shooting 46.7% from field goal, which is pretty impressive, especially here in the playoffs against a seemingly a tough Sixers team, right? For the Sixers, it's Joel Embiid shooting 29.5 points per game. That's pretty good too. It leads all other players in this series. Now, keep in mind, Joel has not had that many games. So his statistical average is obviously going to be higher. Tyrese Maxey is averaging 25.8 points per game. And this is a big stat that I don't think that a lot of people are looking at. But Tyrese Maxey actually leads the Sixers in rebounds as well with 10. He's averaging 10 a game right now, which is a huge deal. That's helping them out on really both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
That is no joke. So,
well, when you get a guy like Maxey able to get these rebounds, it immediately helps push the floor, start the fast break.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that it's a big deal. You see it with guards like that,
Mm-hmm.
or forwards who can get the board, immediately push it up the court.
And finally, we've got the Knicks and the Hawks. Now, this is the game we were just talking about. The Knicks were up 83-35. Is that correct? When we just checked, and that was at
1-0. Yeah.
That's, first of all, terrible.
Mhm.
What are the Hawks doing? They've played so well up to this point.
Yeah.
That's pretty embarrassing, I would have to say. Jalen Brunson leads the Knicks with 28.2 points per game, 5.2 assists per game, and he had 39 points and 8 assists in Game 5. Those are huge numbers, right?
Yeah.
Huge numbers. Those are things that are going to propel this team to a conference final. Next on my list, I got Karl Anthony Towns averaging 11.4 rebounds per game and 1.6 blocks per game. And for the Hawks, we got CJ McCollum coming in at 20.8 points per game. That's all that tells me, is that they're spreading the ball around a little bit more than the Knicks probably are. And Jonathan Kuminga, who we've talked about a lot this season, is averaging 14.2 points per game. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot, but Kuminga is shooting 49.1% from field goal. He had a huge Game 3 with 21 points, and he was shooting 64.3% in that game.
Is that good?
Yeah, right?
That's good.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, that's a sad way to see Atlanta go out with how much fight they put up against a team like New York, who was and are one of the favorites to win the championship. It's been an interesting first round all around, both East and West. But we have our own little playoff coming up here. It's one that we've never done before. It's one we had planned for the draft stream.
Mm-hmm.
We never got around to it. We were just tagging this the headphone game.
Yeah, we don't really have anything else for this. So basically what it is Miles and I each wrote down 2 sentences, and the other person is going to put on the headphones, and I say the sentence, and Miles has to guess what the sentence is. This should be pretty funny because, well, you'll see.
And we're not natural lip readers either, so
Now, Miles, I'll start this off just to make sure these headphones are gonna do it.
sounds
for us.
good.
It's gonna be really sad if they don't. But these are pretty soundproof.
Uh-huh.
They work pretty well for me. So
And
let me
we
get
did
some music going.
we did a 15 word limit on each sentence.
All right,
So I'm gonna try to lead you through this.
hold on. I'm getting interference.
Oh man, we're all over the
Disconnect me
place
from
today.
The Bluetooth over there. Connect.
Hello, hello.
All right, we good, John?
Could you hear me?
I could hear you.
Oh, that's
yeah.
funny.
That would have been funny if I just left him on.
Oh yeah, and then totally cheat.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Let me get Spotify up here so I can get some music going. Okay.
Okay, ready? I'm gonna try to enunciate as much as possible. We're gonna try to get him here. All right. Imagine if Jaquiski Tart did not drop that interception against the Rams in 2022. Any idea?
Can you say it again?
Imagine if Jaquiski Tart did not drop that interception against the Rams.
Imagine if
Jaquiski Tart. Jaquiski.
Jordy Nelson.
Jaquiski.
Jordy.
Ja.
Ja.
Que. Jaquiski. You know who this is?
Who?
Jaquiski.
Joel.
Jaquiski.
Drinking.
All right, we'll ixnay that.
It rhymes with
Is this?
It does. Yeah. Okay. Imagine if Tart.
Charlie.
Tart. Tart.
Who?
Tart. Ta, 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 ta.
T with a T.
Tart. Tart.
Charlie.
Tart.
Tarzan.
Art. Tart. And
I'm
the funny thing
completely
about this
lost.
is he knows exactly what I'm talking about here. Imagine if Tart.
Tart.
Yes. Imagine if Tart.
Jaquiski Tart.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Imagine
all right.
if Jaquiski Tart, Jaquiski
had not
whatever,
dropped that interception.
against the Rams in 2022. Yeah.
So imagine if Jaquiski Tart had not dropped that interception
Against the Rams. Against
again
against
against
the Rams
the Rams.
in 2022. Can you imagine?
Okay. All right, I'm done here.
We got one more. All right.
Wait, hold on. All right, we're gonna take a little break, and I'm gonna say one of mine.
Okay.
Then we're gonna swap up.
Sounds good.
Make sure those are nice and tight around your ears. It's gonna be loud, by the way. You ready? I told you it was gonna be loud. You
All right,
good?
yeah.
Can you hear me?
Go.
Can you hear me? Okay, no. The Cardinals are ass and always will be. Jeremiah Love is a bust.
The Cardinals are ass and always will be.
Jeremiah Love is a bust.
Jeremiah Love is a bust.
Dang, that was pretty good.
Is that everything?
Ding, 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 ding.
That was it?
just because the music is loud doesn't mean the rest of the room.
That's some loud music.
Good. That was good. What was the second part of your first one? I don't think I caught the end.
I love that as soon as Miles gets the headphones on, he just immediately
Starts
transforms into
screaming.
an 85-year-old man trying to figure out how to work his Bluetooth. So, the Cardinals are ass. Hello?
Well, the second half of mine was imagine if Tart did not drop that interception against the Rams in 2022.
Oh, in 2022.
Yes.
Okay, that
Yeah,
was the
yeah.
part that I missed.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, thank you for that, Miles. Yeah, imagine.
I know.
Imagine.
Want to bring back some good memories.
All right, all right.
All right.
Hold on. Let me get the music going here.
All right. Ready? Okay. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Kyler Murray is the cutest quarterback west of the Mississippi.
Kyler Murray is the cutest quarterback I've ever seen.
West of the Mississippi. West.
What?
We- West.
What?
West. West.
What?
West.
W-E-T wet?
No. West.
What?
West. 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 West of the Mississippi.
Oh my God, Kyler Murray is the cutest quarterback I've ever seen.
Close. Is the cutest quarterback west. West.
What?
West.
What?
How do I?
Jared only knows one word that sounds like that.
Yeah. So we have north, south,
Above or below?
north,
North?
south.
Oh, west.
West.
West of the Mississippi?
Yes.
Oh.
That's a really nice thing to say about Kyler.
Yeah, you know, he is cute. He's like a little baby. That's why
Yeah.
they get him a car seat for the
Exactly.
plane.
Exactly. You got that pretty quick. I think it's because you already think that he's so
"What?"
cute.
I was like, Miles, you're saying the same word. I'm like, what are you talking? Here, flip him around. And then you got that little circle button. That'll start it for you.
Okay.
You just tap it. That's okay. I'll start it for you. Don't worry about it. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, Miles. No, I'm just kidding. The Suns got swept like trash, and we're not even surprised.
I think you said something about trash.
The
The
Suns. The
Tots?
the Sun. There's Grandpa. The Suns.
The Seahawks?
The Suns.
The Celtics?
No, the Suns.
The Suns?
The Suns got swept like trash.
Say it again.
The Suns got swept like trash.
The Suns
Got
lost
swept.
weapons.
The Suns got swept like trash.
Josh Sweat?
No, but you're close. The Suns got swept. Can I make the motion?
Is there did you say trash? Is trash in the sentence? Okay. So the Suns blank trash.
The Suns got swept. Got swept.
The Suns talked trash
No.
and got swept.
No. Oh, okay. The Suns got swept
The Suns got swept
like trash.
because they're trash.
Like trash. And we're not even surprised.
This song is really good. I'm like kind of distracted. The
Okay.
Suns
Got swept
got swept
like trash.
because they're trash. In the trash.
And we're not even surprised. And We're not.
It looked like you said wiener. Okay, the Suns got swept.
Mm-hmm. Like trash. Like trash. Like trash.
Something, wait. Song's changing.
That's okay. I'll give you a freebie. The Suns got swept like trash.
It came on right on the part I needed. The Suns got swept.
Uh-huh. Like trash. Just say trash.
Because they're trash.
Okay.
Close enough. Okay.
And we're not even surprised. And Miles. And
Wait, you say it.
Miles.
Panther. The Suns got swept
Like trash.
because they're trash. I swear that's what you're saying.
Close enough. And
Again?
also, okay. Hey. Also,
Also.
close enough. Yeah. Also, we're not.
Okay, wait. So we have the Suns got swept. Also.
Also, we're not. We are. We are. We.
When?
We
We. Okay.
are
Are
not
not
even
even
surprised.
surprised. Oh. The Suns got swept and we're not even surprised.
The Suns got swept like trash and we're not even surprised.
My favorite part of that whole segment is Miles staring at you with childlike wonder in his eyes and then yelling. It sounds like you said wiener.
It really did. Oh my god.
Man. I love the excitement in your face though too as we're doing
know.
doing
Dude,
that.
That look,
hard when you figure
look
it
is
out.
unmatched.
Oh my god.
I don't-
Excited.
You literally looked like your mom just told you that you get to go to Disneyland and you're like 11 years old. You're just staring at Jared so excited.
I'm like sitting here, I'm like, and Miles, and oh man.
Oh, that was good. That's hard.
funny.
That is hard.
Yeah, it is hard.
Oh man.
That was good.
I think
That
it's
was good. All right.
easier because we both knew like we were doing sports ones.
Right.
So like you kind of knew what to look for. But if you just said something like completely irrelevant to anything in existence, I would have no idea. But oh man, that was good.
Yeah, that was
That was
good.
fun. Well, we talked plenty about the NFC West in that game. How do we even measure a winner or a loser for that? I think I definitely lost on that last one.
What do you think, John?
Honestly, my take, we're all winners after that one. That was a
Thank you,
good,
John.
that was
That
a
is
good bit.
Yeah,
That is a good
team
bit.
morale.
I like that one. I think that we should keep that going.
Yeah, that's fun. That I don't even remember what that song's called, but whatever song that is, that came on. I was like so distracted because I was like, "This is a banger." You know,
What were you doing just then?
trying to sing. Like I don't
Is
know the
that-
name of the song or the artist or the
That's
words.
why you will never get up and sing when we go to karaoke, Miles.
Well, I don't want to like sign a record deal in front of everybody. That'd be
Oh,
be kind of
trust me, Miles.
embarrassing.
I don't think you have to worry about that. Based off of what you just showed us, I don't think we have to worry about.
Well, you know,
that
at the
very
end of the
much.
day, like John Father said, we're all winners. But
It's a
doing-
loser mentality.
We're doing our draft grades of the NFC West, where there were not a lot of winners, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
Now we're doing this in the same order. We're going to start with your 49ers.
Okay.
And I gave them a C. Flat
Okay.
out C. Like passing, but
That's fair.
nothing wowing me. Didn't do the extra credit on the back of the page. I think them trading back, yeah, you can I think you recuperate more assets because you're already in the back half of the first round. And we talked about Scrimbling. That's who they wanted,
Mhm.
correct? So they still did get him, but I still was on
What'd you call him?
Scribbling.
Stribbling.
Stribbling. Yeah, he's not Scriblio. But I
Sorry,
think
I can't let you disrespect our
no,
first
it's
pick
fine.
like that.
No, it's fine. Well, you called Jeremiah Love a bust, and that kind of hurt my feelings.
That's true. Honestly,
Love is not in the air with that sentence.
warranted. I'm sorry about that.
But I think them overdrafting Kalen Black is a little crazy. I still think they should have taken an offensive lineman in the third round because you had guys like Pregnon
Mm-hmm.
who were available. But I think, it's John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan
Mhm.
at the end of the day. So this draft could look terrible right now, and then they're going to be like key contributors coming into the season. So
I'd like to see what Fred Warner and George Kittle's draft grades were coming out.
that's a good point.
I'd like to
Yeah.
take a look at that and see how they were rated in those times because they were picked real low. Now, for my draft grade, I also gave the 49ers a C.
Mhm.
And the reason why, and I'll just go through. So obviously, first pick, round number 2, number 33 was Dejon Stribling. Yes, Stribling out of Ole Miss. I think that's a good pick. I think that it fills a need. I don't think that he would have been there if they had waited. Right. They needed to take a wide receiver early in this draft. They already traded out of the first round. I don't hate the fact that they traded out of the first round either. I know that you and I kind of had a discussion about that yesterday, but
Yeah.
here's the thing. 9 out of their last 10 first round picks have been busts. They've fallen off, except, the only one that hasn't is Nick Bosa. And that's a guy that can't stay healthy to save his life.
Right.
So trading out of the first round, getting good value, I think late is what ended up being a good thing. I like the Stribling pick. I think that our best value pick, the 49ers best value pick was round number 4, 107, defensive tackle Grayson Halton out of Oklahoma. I think that's a great pick for them. It fills another need for them right on that defensive line where they're looking to add depth. This is a guy that could potentially, next couple of years end up being a starter. If they start facing a lot of injuries again, then he could be a starter this season, right?
Right.
And then their most polarizing pick, and this is what gives them the C, was their round 3 pick at number 90, where they took Kenyon Black. And I think that this is a big red flag for a lot of people. The Niners jumped here for a running back that they probably could have got later to fill in some depth. And this is not uncharacteristic of Kyle Shanahan, right? We see this where he takes a running back almost every single draft. And I don't hate the fact that he's taking a running back, but I think that for where they got him at, I just don't know if the value is there and if it's necessarily filling the needs that they had.
Well, in the production Shanahan can get out of these running backs, you can draft them late day 3,
Right.
and still make these guys key contributors to his offense. He jumped like 90 spots from his projection to where he was selected.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that was definitely crazy. Just a little side question: if you think 9 of the last 10 first-round picks have been busts, why do you still think John Lynch should still be employed? Because we have some friends who think John Lynch should be fired.
I think that if the Niners are going to continue to win season after season, right? If they're going to be above 500, if they're going to be playoff contenders, if they're going to be Super Bowl contenders over and over and over again,
It's hard to get rid of him.
how are you going to look me in the face right now and tell me that guy doesn't deserve a job?
Mhm.
If you're looking at this guy who's finding generational talent late in the draft, those first round picks don't matter. That's what I would say. I think that at the same time, I think that Kyle Shanahan has had a lot of say in drafting.
I think he saved his job.
in certain spots. Well, I would almost say that maybe Kyle Shanahan needs to take a step back in the draft room and let John Lynch maybe do his job. That's what I would say.
Okay. Yeah,
But I
just,
don't.
yeah.
But I don't think that I can look at John Lynch and look at some of the teams that he's put together, these Super Bowl contending teams, and say that he doesn't deserve a job. If anything, he's easily one of the best GMs in the NFL. This is the guy that traded for Christian McCaffrey. Are you kidding me?
And I remember just a couple of years ago, we were all complaining about Brock Purdy playing with the Avengers, and who set that up?
Right.
So,
Exactly. This is the guy that drafted Brock Purdy last in the draft.
Mhm.
Right. Don't come at him sideways like
And
that.
I actually heard-
can't- not you specifically.
No, yeah.
But I'm just saying I don't think that you can look at this guy and then look around the league at some of these other executives
Mhm.
and say that John Lynch doesn't deserve a job.
Yeah, another little tidbit. I think Adam Schefter told this story about how I think it was 2017 when the Niners took CJ Beathard in the 3rd round, and he went and signed with Jacksonville 4 years later, however many it was, and they got a comp pick for him,
Mhm.
and it was that 7th round comp pick that they took Brock Purdy with, which is just fascinating.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's just because you said that stat, or not that stat, but you gave that observation yesterday,
Which I think is fair, and I think
yeah.
it's fair for you to question that, right? But I think one round out of the seven rounds of drafting, I understand that it's the first round. I understand that these are high value picks to a lot of teams, but I think that we're seeing over and over and over again that maybe the first round isn't everything,
right.
right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, would you say the same thing for the Rams? What grade did you give the Rams?
Oh my goodness. Let's talk about the Rams. So the Rams got a D+ from me. This was not a good grade. And we're gonna put out a clip if you guys didn't see our draft recap. That has our reaction to the number 13 overall pick in Ty Simpson. I think that is potentially the worst pick in the draft. The reason why I say that is because his value does not match where he was picked at number 13.
Absolutely not.
I understand what the Rams are doing. I also feel like on the flip side of that, the Rams are a very complete team, so maybe they didn't feel like they had any glaring needs. But I think that they could have waited a season and taken a guy next year with the slew of picks that are going to be out there. I think that there's also the concern that maybe they would have fallen with the team that they have. They fear that they may fall to a really late pick and then miss out on a potential starting quarterback, right? Their future guy. And so, I think that it's a good insurance policy. I think that this is a guy that can sit behind 2 veteran quarterbacks in Jimmy Garoppolo and Matthew Stafford, and also gain just some insight from
Well, he's going to be learning from one of the greatest quarterbacks and one of the greatest offensive minds.
Right, Sean McVay, and then also gain some chemistry with the playmakers that are out there. So I think that it is good to some degree. I think, maybe they fear that next season Matthew Stafford might not be around, right? And they wanted to make sure that their quarterback was going to be able to sit for a season before they hopped into anything serious. So that's how I feel. I do kind of like the tight end pick. I think I don't hate it out of Ohio State.
I hate that pick.
Why do you hate that pick?
Because they took Terrence Ferguson last year in the 2nd round.
I understand.
Now, and that's a very tight end centric offense.
It is.
So, like, it's hard for me to point and laugh and criticize the Rams when you have Les Snead and Sean McVay, who have been a dominant team in this division for almost 10 years.
That's a high velocity offense.
It is. So it's like, it's hard for me. I can sit here and say that that's bad value with Ty Simpson. It is.
Tell me what other need they maybe should have got at that pick though. What other need could they have filled? You can't tell me running back. Can't tell me wide
No.
receiver.
Oh, I would say wide receiver. I think they could have taken a wide receiver.
They got Puka Nakua and Devontae Adams right now, and
Puka Nakua, who's had off-season issues, and an older Devontae Adams.
I don't think that it would have been as an insurance policy. So
Which is the same thing you're doing
I guess
with-
I understand that, but you're
Yeah.
still adding a pass catcher to your arsenal, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I just think the Rams did want to trade back. If they could have gotten back into the late teens, early 20s, and then taken Ty, that makes way more sense because that's where like he was already being projected to be taken late in the first round. Teams are going to trade up for him. So I think they knew that if they really liked him and they had a lot of talks with him during the offseason, Les Snead is close with Ty Simpson's dad. They were very communicative about how they both wanted each other, which is very sweet. But I think they knew just at that point, and I think my live reaction was, oh God, because it's the Rams. The Rams have daddied the Cardinals for a long time. So I just know Sean McVay, he's going to make that work. I can't sit here and be like, that's a bad pick, even though I think it's a bad pick because I think it's going to work out. But I gave him a D+, same as you. I think overdrafting Ty right there is gross. I think them taking a tight end in the second round 2 years in a row isn't the best value. And they didn't take the only receiver they took was in the 7th round.
Now, what grade did you give them?
I gave him a D+, same as
Okay.
you. Yeah.
All right. What'd you give the Seahawks?
I give the Seahawks a B. I think talking about complete teams, I think they filled their hole really well with Jadarian Price at the last pick of the first round.
Right.
Jeremiah Love's backup at Notre Dame. Kenneth Walker's out the door.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to say goodbye to your Super Bowl MVP, I think, especially with the cachet the Seahawks have now, you can fill that hole early.
I think also they really shored up their secondary with their 2nd and 3rd round picks. I think that those are great moves for them. So.
Yes. John, can you do our puzzle piece for us, if you do not mind? But
Yeah. That's all I have to say about the Seahawks. I think they had a good draft. I gave them a B as well. What do you got for the Cardinals?
I gave the Cardinals a C+.
Okay.
Now, I did feel that they inch out the Niners just a little bit because I think in terms of positional value earlier on, I think they just won by a smidge, but I didn't want to give the Niners a C+ and the Cardinals a B- because that sounded a little too high. So I'm going to go Cardinals C+. Jeremiah Love, that's not good positional value, in my opinion. He's not a premier position.
I don't think that it is either, and I think that he's joining now a crowded running back room.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that fills a need that they had at that spot, and I think that if they were like, well, what do? We have the number 3 pick, trade it away.
I think that's definitely what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
They wanted to trade it away or take a tackle. But with
Well,
David
and
Bailey,
So this is my other issue. They didn't wait to take an offensive lineman, right? They took a guard in the 2nd round.
correct.
But they
Yeah.
waited until the 7th round to take a tackle.
Yeah, which is
What are
why
we
I
doing?
called the Beck pick into question because you still had some options. Yeah, you're going to have to develop them, but you have a traffic cone as a right tackle right now.
I just don't know if they filled their position needs well. I do actually low-key kind of like the Beck pick. I know that you were on the fence about it, but I actually kind of like Beck. And for the viewers out there, I called that, by the way, 2 weeks
You did.
ago.
Yeah, you did.
Called that
Yeah.
in my projection. I at that pick actually round 3. What was it?
65.
65. Okay. I don't know. I just like that pick. I think that he fills a need for them in that backup spot, at least for now.
Mhm.
Depending on what their coaching situation ends up looking like here in the next couple of years, I think that he could develop into an NFL caliber quarterback. He led Miami through an impossible college playoffs, and then was able to get to the national championship, obviously they lost to the best team in college football, right? Which was
Yeah.
Indiana, and
he's thrown crucial
Fernando
picks.
Mendoza.
He did it in Georgia.
he did
Did it
has.
in Miami.
Mhm.
But his best season
The thing is,
was with Georgia when he had Brock Bowers
right,
and Lad McConkey. If he can just be the game manager where you're going to have a Trey McBride
mhm.
and a Michael Wilson and or Marv if he ascends, I think he can be very serviceable.
and they're gonna have hopefully a solid run game.
You better hope
Yeah.
with the money they're paying Jeremiah Love.
Oh my God, that's
Um,
the other thing. They're paying Jeremiah Love. He's the highest paid running back now in the
By
in
far the
league?
most guaranteed
Oh
money.
my God.
Now, that doesn't upset me because we see the and we talked about this yesterday. We see the salary cap go up every year. That $50 million is going to be spread out through his rookie contract.
Now here's the thing though. If he ends up being a bust, then you're losing all of that money, and you're back to the position where you were before, where you're continuing to try to rebuild, and you don't even have the money to do it.
They're going to have a lot of cap space next season. I mean, if they go balls to the wall next season and they're spending money left and right and Jeremiah Love is a bust,
Mhm.
then yeah, that's going to look really bad.
Yeah.
And Monty Austin Ford will be fired. But I think just in terms of they weren't going to be able to trade back with Arvel Reese being the player on the board. If it was David Bailey, I think they could have. They were just going to go BPA because, yeah, you could have taken Maui Noah or Fano
Mhm.
or Proctor, like any of these tackles who they wanted to take, but you'd be reaching like crazy.
Right.
And this sparks the fan base. It's going to make people re-up season tickets, make people want to go to the games. And on paper, that's a fun offense
Yeah.
for sure.
For sure.
So, but like I said, I would say tied barely beat out the Niners in terms of their draft grade.
I think that's fair. Yeah. Now, moving on, we're going to talk about something that's kind of near and dear to my heart. And this is something we're going to try to incorporate a little bit of into every week as the season has just started. But we're going to talk about the WFA. So if you don't know what the WFA is, it's the Women's Football Alliance. It is the highest level of women's football. It's considered professional women's tackle football.
Mhm.
And we're going to start off by talking about the Nevada Storm, who is our local team here.
Mhm.
If you don't know a lot about women's tackle football, there's like over 70 teams across the country. It's a huge deal. They play their national championship actually at the NFL Hall of Fame Stadium. It's on ESPN, which is really cool. And I have been fortunate enough over the last 5 years to be allowed to broadcast for this team, which has been really fun. Last season, I was able to travel with them a little bit. I went down to LA, and that was super fun.
Mhm.
And I'll be broadcasting my first game for them coming up in about 2 weeks. This upcoming Saturday is the Nevada Storm's draft kickoff party, which is going to be super fun. So if you guys want to come check that out, there'll be a raffle. They'll be posting about it. We try to post about it on our social media as well. But last Saturday was the kickoff of the season. The Nevada Storm were on the road, and they took down the Oregon Cougars 54-0. So a huge win there to start off the season. That's exactly what we want to see.
Mhm.
And next on my list, we're going to be talking about their rival, the Cali War, down in LA. And the Cali War defeated the River City Grizzlies 65-0. Now, these sound like major blowouts, and they are. Don't get me wrong, but the way the WFA works is that they've got 3 different tiers. They've got Division 3, Division 2, and then the pro level. So Nevada and Cali are at the pro level. These are high-powered teams. Unfortunately for Oregon and River City, they are D3 teams. And so those are typically starter games, right, for these teams. But one interesting tidbit about the Cali War. So they have a new addition to their roster this season. Former Nevada Storm player Megan Vale.
Drama.
Yeah, there's some definitely sounds like there's some drama there. And but I want to tell you a little bit about Megan Vale, because in their game against River City, she was actually player of the game, which is really exciting. Now, we weren't able to pull any stats yet. They're not up. Hopefully they'll be up by this weekend for game number
Well, I'm on
two.
their website right now. Let me just, I can see if they're updated.
Yeah, see
but
if
keep
anything got
going.
updated. But I want to talk about her stats for last season. So Megan
Oh.
Vale is a wide receiver, DB, running back. She's kind of a hybrid, so she moves around. And last season, she had 248 receiving yards on 8 receptions and 3 TDs, and 280 yards rushing on 31 carries with 7 TDs. So 10 touchdowns total for Megan Vale last season. That is a big deal. It's a big deal that she's now playing for the Nevada Storm's rival. And I hope the best for her. I think she's still here in town, but hopefully we'll be able to get her on the show and maybe do a little interview.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, have some guests. I think that we could get probably a couple other Nevada Storm players on here.
Maybe a coach here and there.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you find some stats from last week?
Well, yes. So we found, like, obviously you gave the point total.
Mhm.
And then they had 407 yards of offense.
Wow. Was that the Cali War or the Nevada Storm?
This was their opener of this year.
Who?
The Storm.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
11 first downs, 270 yards rushing.
Yeah, that's not a surprise, and you're gonna see a lot of that, right? In the WFA, it's very rush heavy. As you get into the pro divisions, you start to see the pass game develop a little bit more. But at divisions 2 and 3, they're gonna run the ball a lot. So
Well, because you can see the discrepancy with only 137 pass yards
Right.
in that opener. And we were looking at the stats last year. The Storm were one of the best rushing teams in the league,
and
last year.
they have been for a long time.
And they have been.
And I don't want to take away from quarterback Jesse Felker. I do know, I've asked this question to their head coach a couple different times. What's the scheme behind the run game? Why is it so run heavy? And a lot of it actually lies in the hands of Jesse Felker. So they run a run pass option. And she typically has the ability to choose what she's going to do
Right.
in those moments. And so hopefully we can get Jessie Felker on here as well, and she could tell us a little bit more about what their game plan is for this upcoming season.
Well, I mean, she threw for 2 touchdowns and had a 130.8 rating in that opener. So she's choosing wisely with those RPOs. But, other Autumn, and I apologize for these names. Autumn
Gearinger?
yes. 11 carries, 136 yards.
Wow.
12.4 per clip, 58 was her longest run, 2 touchdowns.
Good for her.
And then this one also stuck out to me too, because this is obviously 1 week, but leading the WFA right now is Gracie Bales. She had 3 receptions, 135 yards, and 2 tutties.
Very nice.
She is beating Alyssa Williams for the War.
So
by 80 yards.
Alyssa Williams is also a former Storm player.
Oh my God.
Uh-huh.
They want to go live in Cali, baby. I mean, that's but I mean, that keeps the rivalry going.
It totally does. Yeah, it totally does. And yes, there's a rivalry, but I think that there's also a lot of respect between these teams. I also wanted to go back to Megan Vale here just for a second. So I let you know that she's kind of a hybrid player. So she also plays defensive back. Last season, Megan Vale had 10 tackles, 4 for a loss. So
I'm trying to
throw
find
that
her.
stat back out
I'm
there.
trying to find her on here.
She would have been playing for Cali against River City.
I'm just scrolling through the whole thing, so it's probably not the most.
Yeah, you're good, Miles.
I was just curious, but
we'll figure it out and we'll bring it to the show next week. But I just wanted to share some of that stuff with you guys, give you guys a little bit of taste of what we're going to be getting into, especially as the summer months roll around. The NBA playoffs are going to start to fall off a little bit. And well, not a little bit. They're going to end here in June, and we're going to need some content to talk about. But yeah, love the WFA. Very grateful to my Storm family, and hopefully we'll be able to get some more players
are
on
you
here.
only commentating home games, or are you
this season? Yes, I am only going to be commentating home games. They're going to be playing at Robert McQueen High School, so you guys can get your tickets online if you'd like, or you can listen to the broadcast. I believe it's live on YouTube.
It is.
I've
been in the chat
Miles is a big
a
fan.
couple of times.
Yeah, Miles is a big fan.
Definitely never cheated during the trivia segments. But
yeah, I usually throw something fun out there for the fans. But we're gonna move on now.
Yes.
To guess that stat, everyone's favorite segment. But before we do that, the John Father has a comment. Oh, sweet. Thank you. John just let us know we're about an hour in. Thank you so much for that.
John Father Time letting us know.
Yeah, John
We're
Father
an hour
time.
in.
All right. That was a good one, Miles. Way
yes.
to pull that out. All right. You want me to go first?
Yeah, we'll go
All right,
one and
You
one.
got 3, right?
I do.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. Miles. In the 92-93 season, this NBA player averaged 48.5 minutes per game. Since NBA games are only 48 minutes, this means he played every minute of the NBA season, even overtime. Even overtime.
In 92,
92-93.
I feel like I've seen this stat before. Oh man. I don't think it was Jordan. It was not Jordan. Crap.
You
That
know
is
this one.
tough. What team is he on? If you don't mind throwing me a that giveaway.
I don't think I
What conference is
can.
he in?
East.
Okay. Man, I might need to wave the white flag, but I'm gonna be mad because I know I've seen this before.
Mm-hmm.
Who is it?
Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I always think Wilt played earlier than
Yeah,
that.
right.
I never think he played into the 90s. But
All right,
I know
what
I've
you
seen
got?
that somewhere. Okay. It's an NFL one. This team scored 0 points despite having over 400 yards of offense.
I think I already gave you this one. Is it
Did
the
you?
Cardinals?
No.
It's the Niners?
Mm-mm.
The Browns?
Mm-mm.
Jets?
Mm-mm.
It's not the Jets?
Mm-mm.
Giants?
Nope.
I'm just going to keep naming them.
Well, yeah.
It's the Packers?
John would know this.
I don't. I'm just making an educated guess. Is it the Dolphins?
No, but same division.
Oh, the Bills?
Yeah. In 2006.
Yeah, that makes sense. They were terrible for a long time.
Yeah, I
they
mean,
were awful.
And Josh Allen was like, what, 9 years old? So they didn't have him just yet. But
2006? Who was the quarterback, I wonder, at that time?
I don't know.
Not Ryan Fitzpatrick.
No. Fitzy boy. I couldn't even tell you. But yeah, that one,
I had no idea.
that's like, that sounds impossible.
No
to do.
touchdowns?
400 yards. Yeah, 0 points.
Wow.
Is that even the QB's fault at that point? If you have that
No, that's a
No,
scheme.
that's coaching.
Yeah, that's a scheme issue.
Think of how many times you went for it on 4th down
Right.
and didn't get it.
God, that defense had to be exhausted.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right, Miles. This person has 23 gold medals, more than 161 countries. And I have a hint for you if you want it, but I want you to try to guess.
Michael Phelps.
It is.
Yeah.
You want to know what the hint was?
it's Michael Phelps.
Water.
Water.
Yeah.
Water is not the hint. I was going to say he held the record for the world's longest putt.
Are you kidding me? Actually,
No.
I think I did know that.
Yeah, it's actually
Yeah.
it's really impressive
Yeah.
actually. It's actually one of
Do
the
you-
craziest things I've
What was
seen.
the record? Do you know how long it was?
I don't, not off the top.
Because I'm sure, I think like Dude Perfect broke that record.
Yeah, I think recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, recently. they did.
I'm
But-
crazy that. Does that one seems kind of easy? No, like
Have you ever tried?
no. The
The-
guess.
the gold medal
Yeah,
count.
Yeah,
it
like,
was. That was a
does-
gimme.
Doesn't Michael Phelps still hold, or if he doesn't, he recently lost the record for the most gold medals of all time. I think I want to say he did up until
Who would have
Like-
who would it have been though?
it's like on the tip of my tongue. I feel like they were either Russian or North
Nope,
American.
Still Michael Phelps.
He still holds the
Yep.
the record. Okay.
Mhm.
I think I know like who you're referring to though, because there's that other guy. I can't even tell you what country he's from, but he's also like he's broken some of like the time records. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
that Michael Phelps set.
I could see that.
He was like Turkish or something. I'm not sure. I'm not Turkish. Okay, this one's worded a little weird, so I'll try to nudge you in the right direction.
Okay.
But this player, linebacker, has 10 times more tackles than games played in his career.
Ray Lewis.
Yeah, he was a dog.
Yes, he was. You did not want to line up against Ray
No.
Lewis. That
No,
guy's
that man is scary.
freaking scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't know that. I just threw out.
Well, yeah, it's
I
like
just threw one out.
he's
I
an
was just
all-time
gonna
great.
same thing. I was gonna start naming linebackers.
Yeah.
In the same way. All right. Miles. This Seahawks offensive lineman played 180 games over 12 seasons and was only called for holding 9 times in over 5,700 pass attempts.
Do you know what years?
Nope.
12 seasons.
12 seasons.
Is his first name Michael?
No.
Okay.
Well, I guess it's not Michael Phelps then.
Yeah. Does he have the longest putt record? I truly have no idea. Is this somebody
He's
I would
probably
know?
more of a long driver, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this somebody I would know? Because I
don't-
really like if it's
You know,
recent.
Seahawks offensive lineman or what?
Well, if it was like post 2012,
Let me look up.
I think I would know.
Let me look up his career and see if I can pull something for you. Let me see.
I watch a lot of NFC West, so some of these names that are singed into my mind.
Okay. 1997 to 2008.
No, I have no idea.
You weren't even alive. He was drafted.
was swimming.
Walter Jones.
Walter Jones.
hmm
Okay. Yeah. What?
That's
read,
pretty
Read the
impressive,
stat
though.
again.
So this Seahawks offensive lineman played 180 games over 12 seasons and was only called for holding 9 times in over 5,700 passing attempts.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Holding 9 times.
Yep.
That many snaps.
hmm
Man,
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
God. If I was rushing against him, he would have to hold me.
Yeah, well, I mean, we know that Myles Garrett doesn't.
Well,
hold
maybe
a candle
like
to you,
you
Myles.
just like shove me into the ground and probably feel bad and you'll give me an embrace. That'll be his hold. Okay. You're going to like this one. Kyle Shanahan has been swept by this team in his division 4 times.
in his division.
Mhm.
So in the NFC West.
I think they're red
4 times.
4 times.
4
And I have a bonus one too.
by the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably because we're playing our backups in those games. Myles.
Well, and then here's the funny one.
we're playing.
do you remember
we're putting the bench out
In
out
2018, I believe that was Shanahan's first year, or was it 2017? Whatever. In 2018, when the Cardinals were the worst team in the league and they had the number 1 pick, 3 wins, 2 of them were against the Niners.
there. Okay, so here
I mean, that's
I
hilarious.
got another question for you, Miles. In the Shanahan era,
Mm-hmm.
how many times have the Cardinals made the playoffs?
Once. And I hold dear to that one time.
In almost 10 years.
They made it in 2015, 2016, and then 2021.
Okay.
2015, 2016, like the whole year. And they got boat raced in both of them. But
Well, I appreciate the dig there. I've been digging you for weeks actually.
Oh,
on
yeah,
the-
I
on
mean,
these
it's-
Cardinals ones. I even got you again today.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's why I read that one so easily. It's because like if I can make out Cardinals and ass, I can fill in the blanks.
I think that you screamed that one.
It was a little loud, a little loud.
That was a good segment, though. I like that. Segment.
That's
We should
fine.
definitely. All right,
Oh,
yeah.
bonus?
What you got, John Father?
All right, this one is for both of you guys. You guys can work together on this one.
Okay.
This player was a 335-pound defensive tackle who surprisingly scored 5 career rushing touchdowns as a goal line fullback.
I think I know who this is.
Yeah, me too.
I can't remember his
He played
name.
for the Chiefs.
Was it the Chiefs?
No,
No, I think
no,
it was the.
no.
Vita.
Vita Vea.
Vita
That
Vea.
that is an option. Indomitian Sue.
He was. I'll give you his active
Sue.
years. He was active from the years 1985 to 1994,
Oh, well, I have no idea.
Oh, let me think.
and he.
How much football was I watching back then?
I could give you another. Like stat line that'll give you a better hint. He actually won one Super Bowl in his whole career with the Chicago Bears.
Walter Payton.
Was it the fridge?
It was the fridge. Yes, William
What's that?
Perry.
Oh,
Fridge.
I always, whenever I think of the fridge, I always think of Jerome Bettis, which is a crime.
Yeah,
Like I mix that up so much.
It's actually
but
disrespectful.
It is. I
Yeah.
know. But every time Jerome Bettis, I'm like the fridge. I'm like that's not right. I also said Walter Payton, the running back. Jesus Christ.
Well, it's
I'm off-
okay,
I'm
Miles.
off my rocker today.
Yeah,
I'm
it's been a
saying
long
all
show.
kinds of stuff. But
Well, hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and sorry, John Father, are you good? Are we okay? Sorry, I saw some spastic behavior back there behind the camera. But don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. And Miles, you got anything else for the viewers?
tune in next week, same time.
We'll see you next week.